new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne.
Should be live, I think. Okay. Happy Friday, everyone. So good to be here again. What? Ooh, I'm trying to see. It's not showing live on my screen, but hopefully we are live.
See the end stream. No, we're live for sure. I can see the end stream thing as well, so that means we're definitely live.
Yeah, we're live now. I
Sorry, guys.
can see you guys good.
Okay, I'm trying to confirm. Sometimes the glitches can be so very funny that you be live, you be like, yeah, you thought you're live, but then it's not live. But welcome again to another edition of our Positivity live stream. If you are joining us for the very first time, want to say a big welcome to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from all over the world. For me, I want to say happy Good Friday to you. What's a way to start the conversation by talking about faith in business on a Good Friday? It's so powerful, it's so amazing, and I believe that today promises to be another interesting conversation where people are inspired, where people are motivated, where people are being energized to take actionable steps that can change their life and help them become a better person. So for us here, it's all about spreading positivity to every corner of the earth, one person at a time. We believe in the power of positive collaboration and positive partnership because together we can do so much more to make humanity better and make the world a better place. So if you're joining us live, drop in the comment section, tell us where you are joining us from so that we can know that you're here, we can shout you out, and we can highlight you on the screen. Because if there's one thing that we do here, we do very well. It's the ability for us to be able to amplify voices. For persons who show up here, we highlight you on our screen. We let the world know that you are here. We share the light on you because we believe in the power of community and we believe that together we can do so much. So keep dropping the comments. Let us know you're here. We are streaming live to different platforms for those who are joining us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Kindly drop a comment and tell us that you are here with us. Whenever Mr. Eddie Yemi talks about Tish, he always smiles and laugh. It's so amazing that we have the leverage to be able to reach out to more people from different platforms using positivity as a catalyst to inspire more people. And today we're talking about faith in business. Faith is something that most of us do not talk about. People can talk about goals, talk about vision, talk about strategies, talk about courage, talks about consistency, talks about a whole lot of things in business. But when it comes to faith, it's something that a lot of people shy away from it. But today we are diving fully on the conversation of what faith means to each and every one of us and how faith can impact our businesses, and take us to a whole new height and a whole new level. I tell you, through faith, you can make more money. Through faith, you can get more visible. Through faith, your business can get known. Through faith, you can tend to impact more people on a global scale. So if you want to join us, the link is in the comment section. For those of us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, the link is in the comment section. Feel free to join us so that we can bring you up on stage and you can share your thoughts in the conversation. So for those who don't know me, my name is Zion Inogeru. You're Mr. Positive Energy, as you can see on your screen, a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corner of the earth, 1 million people at a time, using the power of media to reach out to more people. And I'm a positivity coach and mentor. I help entrepreneurs who are struggling to stay positive in the midst of the overwhelming entrepreneurial journey, in the midst of the overwhelming business outcome and business results, and you want to consistently stay in the place where you're positive, where you're optimistic, and when you have clarity in moving forward, reach out to me. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. And also, for anyone out there, you are starting your business or you're already in business, you want to make your business known through online events just like this. I help host online events, putting all the logistics together so that we can reach out to more people. And now, through online event, we write books. So you want to write books by speaking on online events, hosting online events, feel free, reach out to us, and we will help you reach out to more people, write down your legacy, and help you to impact more people all over the world. With that being said, I have my co-hosts with me on stage already, Mr. Eni and Jamie. I'm going to pass the mic to them so they can introduce themselves, tell us who they are, what they do, and how they are impacting people. So, King Jamie, let me go to you first. Then we'll go to Mr. Eni. Oh, King Jamie, are you there? Okay. I think Jamie is having a little bit of network glitch. Mr. Eni, can you go for it?
Yeah, sure, for sure, for sure. So I was somewhere else for a second. Jamie, are you back?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
You can now.
Okay,
give you the
my
mic.
yeah, it's the connection being goofy, but I'll try talking. Hopefully everything will be good here. So, hello everybody. Yes, welcome to our call today. It's great. We're at the beginning of April now, talking about a great topic today, right? Faith in business. So I'm excited to share more about this topic later. But let me just introduce myself first. I'm Jamie Edwards. I'm coming from the United States. I'm in Illinois, so I'm right in the Midwest, which for any of you who know the Midwest, we're finally getting some warmer weather. Spring is finally in the air, and I'm super happy for that. So I'm about an hour outside of Chicago, and what I do is I help people with their job searches. I'm an advocate for job seekers, right, all over the world. Doesn't matter in the United States, other countries, many different job seekers all across the world. And my company is called Jam Sessions with Jamie. And what I do as a career coach is I help people handle to their job search. I help people make a resume, build a resume so they can go ahead and get more interviews. So I write resumes from scratch. I help people with interview practice. So for those who, have no problem getting interviews, but then they struggle when they're having interviews, do one-on-one coaching sessions with people, and I help them with how to answer certain types of questions during the interview process. I help them prepare for interviews. I help them negotiate their salaries so they can get paid what worth. And I focus on things in the interview process so I can get them over the hump and get in the workforce. I also help people with their LinkedIn profiles as well. I help people build their profiles from start to finish. Everything from their LinkedIn banner to their headline to their About Me section. I help them with a content creation strategy so they can go ahead and make more posts and get more visibility. So I help with a lot of different things when it comes to LinkedIn and really make people stand out. And I say make people stand out because that's really what my focus is, right? Is to make people stand out in all different aspects of their job search. I've been doing this for over 3 years now. I've worked with over 1,000 different job seekers in that time frame. I have a pretty high track record of getting people hired and getting people traction on their job search. And what it really comes down to is giving people confidence, right? That's what I do is I give people confidence so they can get back in the workforce and be able to navigate their job search and not feel like they're struggling and just spinning in circles trying to gain traction and get more, get more visibility around their resume and their experience, right? So that's a little bit about what I do. If anyone on this call, as I mention all the time, if anyone on this call is looking to get another opportunity or they're stuck in their job and they just don't like their job, they want to get hired someplace else, or they're currently on a job search, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I do free calls, free consultation calls one-on-one just to kind of see if we're a good fit to work with. Anyone else is struggling with their job search. So that's a little bit about me. I think we're going to go pass it over to Eni at this point, right?
we are. Let's minimize Jamie that we have to see me. This is it. I'll let you do what you're doing. Like, keep playing with Jamie. It's fine.
Can you guys? Did you guys hear me at
I'm
all?
not gonna move Jamie. I'm gonna. Yeah, we heard you perfectly, my friend. Heard you
Yes, you can
perfectly.
hear, you can do me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
Did
glad
my
you gave.
did it work the whole time when I was? Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like the more detail. So it's a good thing, my friend. 11,000 plus clients you've worked with. Good in 3 years. I've been in business 11 years. I haven't worked with 11,000 people. But
Yeah.
different sort of business. Yeah, different sort of business. Let's welcome David. How are you doing, Dave? Good to see you all the way, all the way live. Looking forward to encouraging and positive space. That's what we bring, my friend. That's what we bring. Of course, you're welcome to join us on stage. So you just shared the restream link, which is here in the chat. And go to the comment section and copy and paste the link into your browser. Let's talk about that one. That's the one. Of course, if you want us to send a link to your DM, then just message us and just put it in chat here. Send a link, please. So we'd love to have your insights into how faith works in business. No, I said my life is very simple, but it's a lot of fun. I live in the author sphere, so I help you write a book, I help you publish a book, I help you sell your books. Of course, I say in between that, if you launch a book, and also often I guarantee to make your book a #1 bestseller. It's a legacy. You get to have that bag for life. It says that you write genius that people want to read. And today, so I've got two new clients who are going through the whole process. That cheers me up. It doesn't mean I'm going to spend the next good few months writing the books with them, but I enjoy the process. It's what I do. So when it comes to bestsellers, it's always useful to be, I guess, to be a #1 bestseller means that Amazon will show your book to more people. So you get more visibility, which means that you get to sell more books, and then you make greater revenue. If I can help you, get in touch. And if you want to write a book, let's talk. If you've written a book that's not selling, let's talk. If you want your book to become a bestseller, again, let's talk. I'd love to help you. So that's me. It's Mr. Mike, the genius. I see you, my friend. Happy Good Friday to you too, my friend. So it's great to have you here. So Mike's done a song. He wrote a song for Good Friday. That's interesting. And I should have a look at it and then we'll see whether we can play it before we go. Are you muted my mic, Mrs. Z? You're saying I'm muted. But it's alright. I give the mic to you, my friend. You can have the mic.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ellie. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and King Jimmy as well, and letting the audience at home get to know you. Because one thing I love is this: we are all about supporting people, we are all about helping people. Everything we are doing for us who are sitting here on this stage, it's geared towards making people's life better. Yes, you might ask, do we make money? Of course we do. But then in making money, we are making people's life better. In making the money, we are making people achieve their goals, achieve their potentials, make them becoming more better people. So for us, I encourage us out there, for people who are listening to us right now, it's that let's also focus on doing well to make sure that people's life are being impacted, people's life are being influenced. And today we are talking about faith, the importance of faith in business. For me, this is a topic that is so dear to my heart because I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, I trust in God. And then when I bring that into my business, it makes everything goes the way I want it to go. I'm just going to share with you a quick story. Coming into business, being an entrepreneur, I tell you, it was filled with so much uncertainty in the sense that I don't know what I was supposed to do. At a point, I knew, but I didn't know how to do it, who to do it with, who to talk to, who to work with. So I had all this confusion in my head about what to do as an entrepreneur. But if there's one thing I head on to is my trust in God, my absolute trust in God in the journey as well. The Bible will always speak that in Romans 8:28, that it all things work together for good to all who love God and to them who are called according to his purpose. For me, having that belief in mind just make me know that, well, even though I'm starting out right now, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do, but I have a belief, I have faith that results will surely come, that this will work out. For most people, you might be in a place in your life right now where it feels like you are confused, you are tired, you don't even know what to do. Having faith is very, very important. In trusting God, one thing I found out in trusting God really helped me to find purpose, especially purpose when it comes to spreading positivity to every corners of the head, 1 million people at a time. Mr. Ende could testify when I spoke to him 2 years ago when I became an entrepreneur. I was talking to him. He could actually say it much more better because where I was then was a young man that was clueless, that was confused, that didn't really know what he wanted to do. But then fast forward down 3 years down the line, it's a whole different ball game. If there's one thing I had at the beginning of my journey was faith in God. All I had was faith. I didn't have clarity. I wasn't certain about what I was supposed to do, but I had faith. And because I had faith in God, it allowed me to have faith in myself and in my potentials. To know that, you know what, yes, at some point in time, I had an experience with people that failed, people that said and they didn't do. I had these experiences. But if there's one thing I learned from those experiences is to know that having faith in God is the ultimate. Why? Because people will change, people come and go, but God is a constant factor in our life. So for me, when I realize that God is a constant factor, I trust God, but I honor men. So when I get to meet people, I love people, I honor people, I respect people. But if there's one person I trust so much, it's trusting in God. And because I trust in God, it really allowed me to trust in people. Loving God allowed me to love people, love my clients, love my partners, love my friends here on the space, and love people. And because I was able to love people, it puts me in a place whereby more opportunities tends to come my way. Now, when we talk about faith, a lot of people do not talk about faith. People can spend time talking about goal setting, goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. Can talk about business strategy, business strategy, business strategy. But at the end of the day, all the business strategy, all the goals, it needs faith for them to come to reality. You have to believe. You have to believe in the strategy. You have to believe in the goals for the goals to come to pass. So that's why faith, most times, because it's not talked about so much, people overlook it and not pay attention to it. But if there's one thing that has given me an edge and really helped me and became a game changer for me, it's faith. Faith. Because as you go on in business, sometimes you might have all the strategies, you might have all the network, you might have all the resources, but at the end of the day, things are not still working well. Things are not still working the way you want it to go. The result you are wanting to get is not still coming. And that's where faith comes in. There's something I've learned about faith, especially faith in God. I have to be specific in this faith in God. It's when things look uncertain, when it looks clouded, when it looks unclear, having faith in God gives me peace. So when it comes to faith in business, at those moments when the business is not going well, at those moments when the business is not bringing the desired results, at those moments the business is not giving you the joy it should have given you, one thing or one way for you to find peace in the midst of all is having faith. Yes, faith in God. Knowing the fact that, well, the business might not be going well today, but definitely it's going to go well. Why? Because you have the belief, you have the courage, you have the confidence to know that yes, this is going to go well. For me, I'm a Bible scholar. I read the Bible well. One thing I've learned in reading the Bible says the unseen control the seen. So the spiritual controls the physical. And in having faith, you should know that most of the time the strength or the knowledge, the technical know-how sometimes might not bring the results that we tend to want to bring. Yes, you've done all the strategies, put everything in place, but at the end of the day, you still feel uncertain. Man, most of the time as humans, we tend to worry a lot because why we've not seen it. We have only hoped, we have only proposed, we have only had forecasted, but we've not seen it. And because we've not seen it, there's still this level of shake, or there's still this level of where you tend to think or when you tend to be overwhelmed. But that's where having faith comes in. You've proposed, you've not seen it, but then you have the courage to believe it. And one thing I love about belief and having faith is there is nothing impossible to anyone who has faith or to anyone who believes. Because everything we do today concerning our businesses is all futuristic, is all about tomorrow. But at the end of the day, nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows what will happen in the next minute, in the next 2 minutes, in the next 1 hour, in the next 5 hours. Nobody knows what will happen. But having faith is very, very important. For some persons, maybe you don't have a business or you are job searching, you're looking for a job. You've done all you know how to do. You practice, you put all your resumes together. You still need to have faith. You still need to have faith that you are going to get the job. Yes, you applied for a job today, you didn't get it. It's okay. That's where faith comes in. You keep believing. You keep reassuring yourself again and again to tell yourself that, well, even though it might not work out well now, it's going to work out tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, all the businesses we see today that are successful, at one point in the journey, they might have experienced setback, they might have experienced losses, they might have experienced situations that shook the business. But if there's one thing that will keep the business going or keep the individual going, is the ability for us to believe. This conversation today is to remind us of the need for us to believe. Is the need for us to have faith, to know that God is aligning everything for you. God is aligning everything for your purpose. God is aligning everything to work together for your good. Yes, you might not know, but God knows. That's why the Bible says He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end. He's the one that knows the end from the beginning. So trusting Him is placing our life in His hands. And because we place our life and have faith in Him, everything will surely come to pass. There's a point in the Bible that says, by strength shall no man prevail. For most people, they think it's about their strength. It's about, oh, I can do X, Y, Z. As much as it is good, we must recognize the fact that when we wake up, we sleep and wake up. It's not because of what we can do. It's because God has a purpose for you. It's because God has a plan for you. There's a popular quote that says, for the fact you woke up today, it simply means God isn't done with you yet. God still have a lot in store for you. Your business failed yesterday, you are alive today. It simply means there's so much you can do. You didn't get the job you applied for yesterday, it's okay. Today it's a new day. You have you are alive, and because you are alive, it simply means you have what it takes to get a new job. Maybe you started a business yesterday, and somehow along the way the business failed, or the business did not go the way you wanted it to go. You are alive today. Find courage, find faith, believe that for the fact you are alive, it simply means it's a new day, a new opportunity for you to try again, for you to push forward, for you to keep believing. Though it might linger, it's a weeping may endure the night, but joy comes in the morning. And there's a popular saying that says, the darkest hour is always before dawn. But before it gets brighter, it gets darker. So that's why having faith is key. For some persons, you might be in a dark period of your life where it looks as if there is no light. You're not seeing the future. You don't even have a plan for your life, or you have a plan for your business. It's looking as if everything is cloudy, everything is confusing. Have faith. It's a reminder for you today to have faith. Have faith in life and have faith in business. And when you have faith, it keeps you grounded. So faith is not only when you don't know what to do. Even when you know what to do, there's still need for you to have faith. There's still need for you to trust God. Because most people get so complacent and get so overconfident in themselves. And they think that, oh, it's about what they can do. At the end of the day, God is in the control of everything. So you must always believe and trust God that is working for your good. So you might be achieving great success. If there's one thing that faith will do for you that has done for me, it keeps you grounded. It puts you in a place of humility. It reminds you that what you are doing is beyond you. You are serving people, you are impacting people, it's beyond you. So don't get carried away and start saying, oh, it's all me. It's not you. It's about God in your life. And that's why this is a reminder for us to stay grounded, to stay humble, and keep believing and keep having faith in God. And I was talking to my friend within the week, and she reminded me of a word we said a few years ago that says, God can be trusted. For anyone out there, maybe this is for you to remind you and let you know that God can be trusted. Yes, people have failed you before, systems has failed you, the economy has failed you, but in business and in life, God can be trusted. Trusting God is not joke. Trusting God is not in vain. Anyone who trusts God, will surely actualize that which you are trusting God for. Because God has told us that His words are yea and amen, and everything He has said will surely come to pass. So for me, I enjoy faith every day in my everyday life and also in my business. And that's why I'm bringing this conversation to encourage anyone out there in the world who needs to hear this. Because having faith, it's not something we should take for granted in life and also in business. Because business does not run in itself. It takes people to run a business. And when these people has faith, definitely the faith will show forth in the business that you do. So there's no faith too small. So don't say, oh, maybe you need a faith so big. No. He said, as if your faith is as small as a mustard seed, it can move mountain. So no matter how small your level of faith is, it can still make a difference. It can still make a change that you want to see. Let's have faith. Let's build faith. And having faith in God is not a waste of time. Proverbs, for those of who read Bible a lot, say Proverbs.
We've lost Mr. Z, but hopefully he'll come back. Sharing some gems there. So welcome, Terry Lillian. I see you, superstar. Glad you're here. Okay, that's Mrs. R. Glad you're here. Let's come back. Yeah, please carry on, Mrs. Z. Carry on.
All right, sorry, there was just a little glitch. Yes, so just a roundup, and it's to encourage everyone out there under the sound of our voices to remind us of the need for us to have faith. Having faith is not a waste of time. You need faith to do business, you need faith to do life. So you must keep believing, and no matter how big your goal might be, no matter how mighty your dreams, your visions might be, having faith is key. The first step to succeeding or to achieving that which you want to achieve is to have faith, is to believe in your dream. So believing in God, believing in yourself, and believing in your dream is a pathway for you to attain greatness. So thank you so much, everybody. I cannot wait to hear us share. The link is in the comment section if you want to join us. I'll be looking forward to hear from you. But in the meantime, I'm going to pass the mic to my co-host so they can share their thought on this conversation even as we move forward.
Jamie, are you there?
Oh, I don't think Jimmy is here now.
All right. For me, we see you. Welcome. The darkest hour is always before dawn. It's not so true, right? There is no small faith. I agree with you entirely. I agree. But now, look, this is one of the biggest lessons I learned in business, Mrs.
Yeah.
Truth be told, right? For years, I did well by working hard. Like, get educated, work hard, take up opportunities, and serve people. That in my mind, I was doing all the right things. Yeah. The problem comes when I guess you get to where many small businesses get to. I said, that place where you feel like you're going around yourself. It's called the peaks and troughs stage of business, where 1 minute you get a new customer, you think, yeah, I'm rich, I made it. And then you lose, then the next day you lose a customer, you think, damn, I'm broke. It's a disaster. This is terrible. I failed. But I think we have to get past that part, right? And the way I got through that was understanding the importance of faith, belief. Belief is a level of, I guess, having confidence that you can. I just have confidence that something like that what you want will happen. Faith is a whole different level of belief. So Mrs. Z is very religious, which is great. I'm not religious at all, but I still believe in the power of faith because I think you have to have that faith. Otherwise, it's hard. It's hard to explain how life goes and why things happen to us. And Michael said why things happen for us, right? But then in the end, I learned that the first thing you need to really succeed to take your business to the next level is total faith. And then Mrs. Z said it very well. You can't have small faith. I tell you what used to happen to me. You see, I want to do something. I want to, let's say, do an event with someone, and I do an event in my last job. Go to a meeting, write a report, all those things, right? And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what if this goes wrong? What if? What if? What if I did? What if it's late? What if they don't like it? What if I write a terrible report? What if I can't do what I want to do? And so I had to learn that way of thinking is not total faith. You need total faith. Do you have to believe in God? Yeah, well, that's right. Like, whoever your God is, you have to believe in something bigger than us. That's what I learned, right? Otherwise, how do I explain miracles that happen? How comes on some days the people you need suddenly show up in front of you? The thing you need suddenly appears and is in your hand. I can only put it down to the greater powers. And then say, whatever you call it God, whether you call it universe, whether you call it the spirit, everyone's got their own version of the greater being than us. See, when we have that greater being, we can almost put our trust that the greater being will make what we want materialize. And so, without that total belief, we do hold ourselves back. I said, I may ask others what if questions. Not having total faith. It meant that some things were working, and other things were not working. Because deep down in my heart, I didn't believe it would happen. And you have to really have that total belief, and I think the belief in God is as good as a place to park your belief, your true faith, that what you want will come to pass. What you want to do will happen. Your vision, your dreams will happen. This is something very important. If you don't see it, more chance to overcome. The ability to envision, to visualize, to see the future, and then believe that we can make that thing, the future that we see. So everything happens twice, first in our mind and then in our physical reality. That's the joy of having faith. But look, my friends, let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Having faith doesn't mean that you pray all day and that's what you do. It doesn't mean that you come to events all day and that's what you do. So for me, having faith, it means every day I have a conversation with my God. And the conversation is, right, this is what's gonna happen. I see it. Right. Give me the guidance to make it happen. What do I need to do today? You see, to have faith, you have to be willing to do what it takes, what God tells you to do. Otherwise, nothing will happen. Strange that. You have to truly believe, but you have to be willing to do the work. It's the action that we take based on our faith that makes a difference. We have to give ourselves a space every day to listen to what God's telling us. And then we have to go and do it. See, some people say, oh, all that positive thinking, all that faith and belief, not praying, yeah, they'll pray all day. God said, go and make it happen. Go and do it. You say God will tell us what to do every day if we learn to listen. That's why you have to learn to listen. But then to listen to God, you have to truly believe that the miracle you want to happen is coming. It's there in front of you. It is there in front of you. All you have to do is take the right steps and you'll see the results. Again, it's very easy to think, I've had faith, I've done, it hasn't happened for me. This can't be, this faith thing can't be true. Again, Mrs. Z said something very important. We want what we want, and we want it when we want it, which is normally now. I want a job now, and I want that job that I applied for because that's what God told me to do, to apply for that job, right? Yeah, that's not how it works, right? Sometimes your God knows that you're not ready for that. Your God knows that that thing is not right for you. And God will give you something else. Right? Give you a different direction to go. Doesn't mean your faith hasn't worked. Doesn't mean you have to truly follow what God tells you. And then when you look back a year from now, for example, you see why your greater power puts you on a different path to what you thought you were. I see what you say, Mike. Be careful what you ask for, indeed. But sometimes, God knows better than we do, right? And you just have to trust that what happens in your life. That's why you have to have positivity. Rather than getting down and depressed because what you wanted didn't happen, you have to truly have the understanding that miracles happen. You don't know what miracles that's happened to you today. Yeah, and if you give it time, you'll soon see. I don't know what the miracle was. See, I will end by saying, look, having faith in God, having faith in greater power, having faith in miracles happening, and taking action. All of that only work if you have faith in yourself. That's where the truth. That's where the conversation really lies. If you don't believe that you can, you won't. If you believe you can't, you won't. That's where faith really matters. Like, so put your belief and your faith in God to make it happen. Be prepared to take the actions you have to take, and believe that you can. Believe that you can achieve greatness. Believe that you can build wealth. Believe that you can get 10 clients. I believe that you can do what you need to do. But it comes down to you believing that you really can. But if you don't believe you can, you won't take the action. You won't have faith either. You really must make use faith to your advantage. It's got me to great places. I say 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I was somewhere else. I didn't have faith. Now I have faith. Every day is a joy. Every day is a miracle. Every day is amazing. I mean, today, I mentioned to my friend earlier, I've got 2 new clients that I get to work with to help me write a book. And I believed that I would get those clients. I believed I would write those books. That's why I do what I do. I don't sit down and think, oh, what if they go somewhere else? No. The faith, the belief that I can write, that I will deliver on the book my clients want, the belief that God has given me this task to do for them. It all goes together. That's the power of faith. So hopefully I haven't shared too much now or too long. Welcome, Dr. Lisa. How you doing, Lisa? Welcome. So Mike says, answer to prayer, please, yes. He's yes, no, not yet. Indeed, that's not right. God knows best, so we can't always determine when what we are and even what we want. Right? It's always what we think. I agree with you there, Mike. Faith without work is dead. It's true. Alignment is not a matter of geography, it's a matter of intimacy with the Creator. I say every day I talk to God, and God talks to me. They say if you pray, you're talking to God. If you meditate, God's talking to you. Meditate every day. And you think I want to achieve people in this I will this My friends, look, if you need help to put all that is faith in your business, talk to Mr. Z. He's a positivity coach. I talk inspiration half the time, but I also help you create your dreams. Thank you. Jamie, are you back? Jamie? No? I think we lost Jamie.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
it's back, so we can just allow Dave to share.
yeah, let's go to David. How you doing, Dave? Long time it feels like.
I'm not, I'm not bad. I'm not bad. And Zion, Jamie's dropped off for a bit. This is such an encouraging conversation. I mean, you're right. Thank you for that great share. And there's just been great shares across the board. You're right. It is all about faith. Whatever your faith is, having that belief that things will work themselves out, and they might not work themselves out straight away. You know, it's the journey is long, and it's not always going to go how you first anticipate. But it's not about when the sun is out, it's when darkness happens. It's those times when you really need the faith. When it's not quite going the way you want, you've got to just have that belief system, and just kind of keep going and just keep persevering and have the faith in yourself and have the faith to trust others. You know, you can't do it all yourself. There are going to be times where you need to be vulnerable and accept help and say, I can't do something, and have that trust and, like you said, that faith in each other. That's super important. There is always opportunity, always, there's even opportunity when dealing with loss. It's all learning. You got to think about your perspective, your mindset, your positivity, and sometimes it's about where you put your energy. I think that's super important. I tell myself that every day. I try and live in gratitude and live in serenity, and the last thing I'll yield the mic is around, It's around, your serenity and where your energy is, accept the things you can't change, have courage to change those things you can, have wisdom to know the difference. There are things that are out of your control. The way that somebody brings themselves to the table is not your concern. You can't change other people. You can change how you show up. All about faith, all about the road ahead, all about staying encouraged. So I'll yield it there. Stay encouraged, everybody.
Beautifully said, my friend. Beautifully said. It's not always what we want that will happen. We have to believe and trust that what we like, the good thing is the right thing to come into us. I mean, it is about. I think there's a bit of bravery in all of this. I love the fact that you say, it's a daily conversation you have, right? There's a daily process that, and you practice gratitude. Do you know, my journaling every day, it starts off with, I'm so happy and grateful that what I want to happen has happened already. Yeah, a good mindset coach will tell you work from the end. See the end, see the result you want, work toward that. But when you're grateful, when you're grateful to God, for example, for making your dreams come true, that's working from the end. That's when say that you're thanking God for making it, for having made it happen, and then you get the instruction, as I call it, to take the right steps to get there. So gratitude, that's the biggest element of faith, if you ask me. That's where you really say to God that I trust you, I believe you, I know you, that what I want is already done. I just need to now get there. See, a lot of people, David, I'm sure I'm sure you, Mr. D, agree. A lot of people will give up on the journey because things get hard. Because they can't see what they want. And 99% of the time, they give up just before they succeed. Just before God says, yeah, have it. I can tell you many stories now. Anyone who's done anything great. Mrs. Z always talks about you have to have a test to have a testimony. Right? Yeah, and how many stories can we tell? From the big people, Steve Jobs, the J.K. Rowling, that went out and spoke to how many different publishers, and they all said no. Yeah, and they went to spoke to the 40-somethings one that they were like, yeah, this Harry Potter things, I see it. I'm saying that's how life goes, right? And let's not give up too soon. Let's not lose our faith. Let's not be in a hurry, and let's not be so close-minded not to be able to see opportunities that God gives us. Mrs. Z, I give you the mic.
Mr. Eni, I think you said so much, and thank you so much, Mr. David, for adding your thoughts to this conversation. It's very powerful. As I was listening to the both of you talking, so I just had to, a thought just sparked up in my mind, just to remind people as well that having faith is not magic. I will say that again, it's not magic. God is not a magician. God is not a genie. For some people, that what they think is just like boom and zoom, everything they're asking for comes to pass. It does not work like that. And I think David made sure the point that sometimes it's going to take time. When I mean time, it's going to take time for it to come to pass. And that's why on this journey of faith, patience is key. You have to learn to embrace the power of patience because a lot of people, we are not patient enough. We are in a rush. We are in a hurry. We want it to come now, 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 because that's when we want it to come. But in trusting God, you must know that God's mind for us is much more better than our mind for ourselves. God's plan for us is more better than our plan for ourselves. And that's why for me, it's all I'm always uh, pushing the truth to say, what is God saying concerning this? What's God's mind concerning it? For you, what you want might be now. For God, you might say, no, You will have it in 2 months' time because that's when you will be ready. That's when you will truly value the blessing that is coming for you. For most of us, we are praying for opportunities, but we are never prepared for these opportunities. If the opportunities come, we're going to lose it because we are not prepared. One thing that God has taught me in my journey on having faith is if it doesn't come now, it means it's not the right time. So what do I need to do? I need to savor the flavor, the awesomeness in patience. Exactly like Mr. Kenneth has said. Of course, we need to savor the flavor of the awesomeness in patience in my journey of faith, knowing for the fact that, well, if it's not coming now, it simply means it's not the right time. So the next thing would be, how do I position myself for the right time? Do I need to learn more? What skill do I need? What knowledge do I need? How do I need to improve myself so that I can be more prepared for when the opportunity comes to me? There's a popular saying that goes, when preparedness meets opportunity. For most of us, we are praying for the opportunities, but we are not really prepared for the opportunities to come. So most time when we have faith, when we are believing and it doesn't come, just know that it might not be the right time for you to have it. It might not be the right time for it to come, but surely it will come. And that's why having that place to say, okay, I have to be patient. I have to keep my faith. I have to stay grounded. I have to keep believing. Like Mr. Ennis said, don't give up yet. A lot of us, we give up so easily. We give up so quickly. You try the first time, you try the second time, and you're like, oh, I cannot do this anymore. There are people who have tried 50 times. There are people who have tried 99 times, and they are still willing to try again. Because that's what faith will do for you. Faith will tell you that there is still hope, there is still opportunity, there is still something out there for you, no matter how many times you failed. Failing and rising again is part of the journey. And having faith is what keeps you grounded to say, you know what, even if I fail today, I'm going to try again tomorrow. If I fail tomorrow, I'm going to try again a day after. If I fail a day after, I'm going to try again the day after that. Just like that. Keep believing and keep having faith, which is very, very important. And when Mr. Annie was speaking, he mentioned something about, you know, God knows better than us, so that we can trust him. And that's the truth. He knows better than us. The only thing we know is this moment, what is happening at this moment. We don't know what will happen in 5 minutes' time, in 10 minutes' time, in 1 hour time, in one. We don't even know. What we know as humans is now. It doesn't matter how intellectually good you are. What you know is now, is at this present moment. It's only God that knows today and knows tomorrow and knows your future from now. So trusting him puts you in a place where you trust the one that knows better. So I'm putting it to you, trust the one that knows better, which is God. He knows better. He knows the decision that is good for you. He knows the opportunity that is good for you. He knows the collaboration that is good for you. He knows the business you will go into that is good for you. He knows the job that you will go into that will keep your sanity and keep your finances intact. A lot of people, because we are in a hot seat or we are in a rush to get a job, we just go into any job just because, okay, this from this job I can pay my bill. Though it is good, but at the end of the day, doing something that you enjoy is God's mind for us. Something you enjoy, something you want to do, you love doing, is God's mind for us. That's why trusting him who knows better in this journey of faith is very, very important. And another point that Mr. Any mentioned is your faith must be backed up with action. I think this is a conversation we are going to be looking deeper into next week, because we live in a world where the end point for many persons is just to have faith. It's just to believe in thin air. It's just to believe in the many possibilities that happen without taking action. You're not doing anything. You're not thinking anything. You're not growing anything. You're not sowing any seed. You're not building a relationship. You're not networking. All you have is just belief. If you're in that place where all you have is just believing and believing and believing and believing, you might not get to where you want to get to. That's why even the Bible says faith without work is dead in the book of James. So having faith and backing up with action is what brings the desired result. So faith is more like the first step. Faith is the entering point. Faith is the catalyst. Faith is the foundation. When you have faith, then you build on it through your works. So when you are building a house, you don't just build the foundation and you say that's all there is to build. No, no. When the foundation is set, there is need for you to have blocks and do all the construction just for you to have a full house, to have a dream house that you have imagined to have. Foundation is key, which is faith. But it doesn't end in the foundation. There is need for us to put in action. This topic on action, faith backed up by action, we are going to be diving in deeper in upper week conversation. To look at what action can do in us applying faith in doing what we do, because we don't just want to have a discussion that is half baked or looking at a discussion one sided. No, we have to look at this discussion holistically so that people can get to learn and know that, well, I have faith, but if I have faith, there is need for me to back it up with action. Yes, Lila, happy Friday, welcome. Lala says, believing without action, door don't open by sitting around. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Profound example. You want the door to open, the door will not open by you sitting around. You have to go to the door and get the door open. If it means putting the key or turning the handle for the door to open, that's the action. A lot of us, we want the door to open, but we are not willing to go open the door. Sometimes the door is not even locked. All we have to do is just to push the door open and the door will be open. So thank you so much, Laila, for that powerful and contribution. A lot of people are sitting around. So if you are hearing this today, if you have faith, congratulations, well done. But having faith is not enough. It's not enough to just have faith and you sit around. Like Laila said, sitting around. A lot of us are sitting around. We are sitting around in our lives. We are sitting around in our businesses. We are sitting around in our relationship. We are sitting around in many things concerning us. So this is a wake-up call to let us know that there is no sitting around anymore. There is no sitting around. Having faith is even an action. To have faith is an action. Because it's an action word. You need to have faith, you need to believe in. So it's an action. Some persons are not even having faith. Not to talk about backing up with the doing it. So having faith is the first step that you have to take when it comes to having a successful business. You must learn to believe. You must learn to trust. You must learn to align yourself with the possibilities that await. And to be honest with you, each and every one of us, we have so much possibilities awaiting us. We have so much greatness. We have so much amazing things for us in store. But the question is, do you believe it? Do you envision it? Can you see it? Can you perceive it? Do you see the greatness in you? Maybe I'm the one seeing it for you, though. As much as I'm seeing it for you, there is need for you to see it for yourself. Because we are all cheerleaders. We can cheer you up at the end of the day. You are the major game player. You are the real MVP. You are the one that changes the direction of the game. You are the one that changes the momentum of the game. Because you are the one that plays the game of life. You have mentors, you have coaches, you have encouragers, you have friends who support you. Fine and good, congratulations. But at the end of the day, the real MVP of your life is you. The real game changer of your life is you. And that's why we are reminding you today to have faith, to believe, to trust, and to embrace that greatness that is within you. And like we said, it's not just enough to believe, but to take action. So in coming week, we're going to dive into the conversation where we're going to take action and see practical steps where that can be possible. But in the meantime, King Jamie, are you still there? Ooh, I hope he's there. He's muted, but he's not here with us.
His internet fell off. That's what it looks like, right? His internet just fell off completely. No, there's a point you made. There's many points you made, of course, right? And you mentioned that we can achieve greatness, right? Which is 100% true. You know, my question the question I ask myself, and the question I'm going to leave you with today, probably, is this question. If you knew you were guaranteed to to succeed, what would you be doing today in your business, in your personal life? What would you be doing if you knew that you couldn't fail? How would that change what you do? See, that's total faith. That's a level of faith we need. Truly know that you can, because you can do anything you put your mind to. Because many of us live in fear. We live in doubt, and we say we have faith. We say we go to church every day, Mrs. Z. We go to church several times, twice a day sometimes, right? And then when it comes to doing, creating for humanity, we say, "Oh, I'm not ready." When I'm ready, I'm not sure. You know, to have faith really is to believe the truth, which is that you are God's greatest creation. Do you truly believe that? If you do, then you have to realize it's not them who do great stuff, it's us who do great stuff. It's you who do great stuff. So one day I had to realize this, but it was a journey. It was a journey again, going back some of the things you said, Mr. G. Things happen when we're ready. When I started my business, I thought I want to do marketing for big clients, big companies, because they'll pay me loads and I'll be rich, right? The longer I was doing marketing, the more I realized if those big companies came in the first year, the first month of my business, the first year, the first 5 years, I couldn't help them. I didn't know anything. I didn't know enough to help them. I knew enough to help small businesses. I didn't know enough to help those big companies. Again, I mentioned earlier that I got 2 new clients today, very big contracts to write their books, right? Again, I'm sure I wanted these 2 clients. I wanted 2 clients at once last year, the year before. Could I have written a book? No, because you have to have the experience to truly believe in your heart that you can, to create the process, the system, to make it happen. This is how life really works. It's not want and it happens. You have to learn. You have to become the person who does that thing. And you know who knows whether we're ready or not? God knows whether we're ready or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
God knows, so there's no point. We can't lie we can't lie, to God for sure. I'm sure we all know that, right? The thing
Yeah.
the thing for all of us is have true faith that what you want to happen will come to your life. Suddenly, every day we'll have miracles. If you have a big vision for your business. So you'll be amazed how suddenly the partnerships you need, the mentor you need, even the money you need will come to you just when you're ready, when you need it. When the time is right for you. Just keep believing, keep dreaming, keep visualizing, and visualize to do good things for humanity, to serve humanity. I looked into it the other day and I saw Mr. Dangote. Wow, he's an ordinary man like you and me, right? But he's taking the opportunity God gave him. Look where he is now. So we can be, we can be, bigger than him. If only we actually believe and are willing to do what God tells us. Mr. Mike, you're in the studio. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I'm listening very closely to the wisdom that you all are dropping.
Thank you for coming in the studio, my friend. And of course, and your kind words. It's a reminder to play your song, Mike. Now you're here, right? I'll play before.
That's not why I'm here.
I'm just saying I'll play before you fall off stage.
The the thing that really strikes me, particularly as I age, is our motivation. If our motivation in business is money, we're doing it wrong.
Okay.
Uh, and I mean, you see very wealthy people and they're miserable. So, you know, to your point, Annie, God knows what He's doing, but it's I wrote something about it. Alignment is not a matter of geography; it's a matter of where our heart is. God is not distant. God is everywhere and inside. We are imagers of God. But when we're not aligned with our purpose, when we're not aligned with what His vision for our lives is, we're not going to be successful in any sense of the word. So, I was misaligned to some degree, or I look back and and I say, well, that's a lesson learned, right? I mean, I think when I was in cybersecurity, was that where I was supposed to be? The answer is yes for the time being, but that wasn't. That's Yeah, I think when you're going through life, your gut is telling you what whether you're out of alignment or not. And when you're in alignment with what He is has for you, um quote unquote success will happen. And I think we also need to rethink what we mean by success. What is success in business? To me, it's service. Are we serving people? Are we raising in the lives that we're contacting? And I think we have to be careful too about, we don't often know what the impact of what we're doing is. And I embarrassed you, I embarrassed Zion with these tributes, but I think it's so important to do, because we live in a kind of twisted and fallen world. And so I think it's important to call out, when we're able to call out those people that are making a difference, are making an impact, and support each other. I think it's just so key. And again, I think men in particular, and this is nothing against women, but I think men in particular need to talk about these deeper subjects, to talk about faith more, but maybe in a broader setting, because we should not be segregating our faith from the rest of our life, whether that's in business. I think we often do. When we're out and about in a meeting, we may be acting different than when we do when we're at church, or when we're on the street. And I think we really need to think or rethink that, and just be the people that and the men that God wants us to be, and be that conduit for his and it's just so when I've seen it in action, and I'm sure you've seen it too, where you see like maybe an elder couple, or a guy that is kind of in a good place in his life and his walk with God, is you just sense a peace. You're attracted to that. And I think for those of us that want to have that more intimate relationship, as you do that, uh, like I said, whatever you term success will come. That's what I got for you on this wonderful Good Friday.
It's genius, Mark. It is genius that you always share with us. Like, Prof, welcome. I see you. Happy Good Friday to you too, to you and the family, of course. Who was talking? David, as David says, a second insightful and encouraging share. So true, so true, so true. Look, I'm with you entirely. I think success is two things for me. I guess seven people, of course. Number one. There's no 7 people is what brings joy to our hearts. It's what brings joy to our soul. It's what gives us what you said, like that peace. And I think success is that peace. It's when you can live with that. You know, there's a saying, when you know, you know, you know. It's just knowing that you know, and then you know that's when you can have peace. Because then you don't worry. I don't know. We worry about everything. Money. We worry about can we, can't we? What if I fail? So that's just worry. That's what- what's it- that's trauma. Really. That's what that is, right? To live minus that trauma, to live in certainty that you're living the gifts that you God given gifts. And my, I'm totally with you. I'm not religious. If you come to me 2 years ago, Mike, I've said to you, what are you talking about with this faith? I've said to you, right? I think, I go back to your point about we were made in the image of God. Where I think, that's why I say it's not us, it's not God doing stuff for us. It's God telling us what to do, which comes from within, right? That's truly understanding how to use faith. As a man, I have no problem at all admitting that things happen in my life that must be down to someone else, to a greater power. I could call it God, I could call it the universe, but there's a greater power than us. That's why things happen for us, you know, whether we expect it or not. So every day, if you look around you, I think you see that amazing things happen. If you dare to dream big, if you dare to want to serve people on the biggest scale, that's what business is out for. After all, God will give us the people, the resources, the opportunities.
You did say something key though, and maybe both of you did, and that is you have to go and do. You can have this knowledge, you can even have a relationship with God. If you don't do anything, it's gonna be. That's why I said faith without works is dead. And it's
Yeah,
not that we can work our way into heaven. It's that the faith and that intimate relationship with God is going to produce the works. And I'm not saying if you're sitting on the sidelines, you don't have a relationship, but I'm saying that you will have a powerful witness. And I think you said something else in in the serving. I just get so much back. The dividends are incredible, whether it's joy, peace, whatever it is. And every once in a while God allows me to see the impact I have. And that I can't tell you how much that means, because I believe we all want to be seen, heard, and valued. And the valued piece is important, right? Because we want to know, for instance, that we're on the right path, that we haven't kind of gone over the cliff, or in a dark place. And sometimes, by the way, we can be in a dark place, but we're there. Think about this, and this blew my mind on Good Friday. I think sometimes we are the light in the darkness, or at least we are the conduit to be the light in the darkness. So when you're in a dark place, whether it's financial or whatever, think about why, and don't think about, oh, woe is me. Think about, why am I here right now in this moment? It may not be about me. And I have to
yeah,
remind myself all the time, as it's like, well, what the H is going on here? But it's not necessarily about you. Maybe you're there to walk alongside that person. Maybe you're there to learn a lesson. Maybe you're there just to witness, just to witness what's going on, because the show that we did the other night, Annie, was just incredible. And to be able to support someone when they're in the middle of a dark place, and just be there, just to listen, whether it's Christiana with loss of a baby, or with Michelle when she's going through her difficulties. I just think, when we can be present in the moment and just be a listening ear, it's so powerful. And I think for us too.
again, I agree with you 100%. It makes me appreciate the fact that I mention frequently that when we are ready with the things we need, the people we need comes, they suddenly appear like magic. Some of them have been there forever. They've been there all the time. We just didn't see them in that light, right? No, so I think I firmly believe that as I said, Mike, that we are there for a reason. We have to understand, we have to realize that sometimes we're there to receive, other times we're there to give. You know, so let's not let our egos tell us, make us say, no, I don't want your help. It goes for that person there to truly move us forward. Let's learn to receive with grace, graciously, gracefully. Let's learn to receive with grace, but also let's learn to support others if that is what we're there for. Of course, there's not going to be a big sign saying that any Mrs. Z, this is your task today. It just means that we have to have a heart of being genuinely, a good person, a good friend to people. Let's learn to just to be kind to people. And Mrs. Z always says, even just a smile normally makes a day. Someone there. Right? Let's be the person that gives that smile, that gives that kindness, that gives that humanity, that gives that, you know, that nice person that person meets today. So again, I will end on this. So I learned on my journey that we can always make people's day better. We can always make people better off for meeting us today. And you never know who that person's going to be. Leave everyone with a sense of increase, a feeling of being better for meeting you. That's what God tells us to do. That's true faith in action. I see you, Yolanda. Welcome. So great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. This is Z. I'll give you the microphone.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Eni and Uncle Mike. As the both of you were speaking and when you spoke about true satisfaction or true fulfillment comes when we are supporting others, when we are helping others. Truly, I could actually resonate with that because that's what my life is centered generally on being able to help people and support people on their journey. And I've been working with kids 12 years below for a while now. And currently, I have two who are physically living with me where I'm staying. And the satisfaction I get when I see them smile, see them excited, they have food to eat, they have clothes to wear. And when I see them dressed up to go to school every day, which they were not able to do before, the satisfaction I get is far much more than the one I get when I make profit from my business. When you make profit from your business, you can be excited, you can be happy, but it can never be compared to the satisfaction I get when I see those children smile every day. When I say, hey, Uncle Z, good morning, Uncle Z, good afternoon, Uncle Z, good evening. When they are coming to give me a big hug, whenever they see me, they are jumping on me. The satisfaction I get cannot be compared. So helping people, it's a whole lot. It's far beyond us. And like Mr. Eni will always say, you don't know who you might be helping and whose life you might be transforming. A kind words can make a difference. A smile, an appreciation, gratitude to people can make a huge difference. And that's why for me, I'm very concerned and passionate about helping people with what you do. You might be doing something, yes, we are all doing things differently, in our own capacity, but then what you are doing, how are you using it to make the world a better place? How are you using it to impact the next person? Is somebody blessed because of what you're doing? Is somebody blessed because of your business? Is somebody blessed because of your skill, because of your knowledge, because of what you bring to the world? Is somebody being blessed? It's a question we need to ask ourselves every day. So for me, as much as I do what I do, I'm a big fan of helping and supporting other people. For me, I always say no one is permitted to be alone. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter your skin color, it doesn't matter your background, it does not matter your mistakes, it doesn't matter your past experience. Nobody is permitted to be alone. You need support. We all need somebody to lean on. We all need somebody to encourage us. We all need somebody to support us at one point in time. That's why I love the song that says, "Lean on me when you're not strong. Now be a friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long, 'cause I'm gonna need somebody to lean on." As simple as that. We need somebody to lean on. Today you might be the strongest, but tomorrow you might not be at your strongest. You're going to need somebody to be there for you, to support you, to encourage you. So, this is a message to everyone out there under the sound of our voice. We are talking about faith in business today, but then it goes beyond just having faith. It's also about our action, it's also about our attitude, it's all about how we put ourselves out there. If you have faith, is your faith impacting people? If you have faith, is your faith supporting people? Is your faith putting smile in people's face? You know, those things that we think is little are what truly makes the difference. Are what truly makes, the impact. Are what truly encourages people to be a better version of themselves and find faith and keep living their life every day. No, this is going to be a conversation that's going to continue next week, Friday, where we are bringing in the action part into the faith. So if you are here today, keep a date with us. Faith in action. It's what we are doing next week. So thank you so much, Yolanda. It says I have a beautiful voice. All right, let me savor that. According to Mr. Kenneth, savor the flavor of the awesomeness. Thank you so much, Yolanda. I appreciate you so much. You know, for us, that's what we bring in the positivity, the energy through songs, through words, through our actions, just to encourage other people out there and make them feel seen, feel valued, and feel helped. So if you are here today, please, I just want to encourage you. You are not alone. We are here for you. We are here to support you. We are here to encourage you. If you need help, you need support in any way, in any shape or form, do where to reach out to us. I know we will give our best to make sure that you achieve your goal and do that which you want to do. And I cannot wait to see us again next week, Friday. Mr. Any last word, Mr. Mike, so that we can call the a day today.
I want to play Mike's song, Mike's Easter song before we go. That's
Oh,
all right. We
okay.
can play that
You
another
can
way.
use that to close out today. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. No, Kenny, of course we see you, Kenny. I don't like anything that we're not seeing. We do see you, Kenny. So you're visible to no one. Yeah, Mike. Of course, I know the story you're mentioning. The story of people sent to rescue the drowning people, right, Mike?
Yeah, I just I think sometimes that we get stuck, and like I said, it's not about us. So the story that I remember, and I don't know if I have it exactly right, but that someone's praying to get saved off of a roof in a flood, and God sends multiple people. He sends I don't remember all the details, but it was like three. I remember like three parties to three different parties, and then I don't know if he ends up drowning, or I don't actually remember the ending, but I just remember.
He drowns.
What's
The
that?
first one, he drowns. The
Yeah, yeah,
first one.
yeah,
The first one
yeah.
he said, I don't need rescuing. God will save me.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so he drowns, and I guess he ends up at the pearly gates, and he's like,
Yeah.
what the heck happened?" I was like, "I sent you three different people." So, and I think again, Annie, I think sometimes we can get kind of so wrapped up in our circumstances. And by the way, when I say we, I'm talking to me mostly. We can get so wrapped up that we don't see the broader picture, or we can't sort of pull back and look at what's going on. And I gotta say, I'm not saying I would recommend this for everybody, but having the quad bypass in 24 was a huge wake up call, mostly because um, I don't think we're guaranteed tomorrow. So I think it's so important in this very moment, in this exact moment, that we present ourselves to be the best version through and with relationship with God and being the imagers of him. So we're built in the image, but we're also to be imagers. So that means there is a responsibility that we have, which we should take seriously. And again, it all works out for our benefit as well, in multiple ways. But I think it's just so important, and to kind of sometimes step outside of our focus on us or our difficulties and say, there's more to life than this, and just being in the present. I can't tell you how much, like like these various shows have meant to me, particularly the one with Michelle. um it just meant a lot, just to hear what she had to say, just to be there for her. And I think it's just so important to be present, because sometimes that's all you can do, Annie. Sometimes, you don't have an answer, or you can't help right away, or maybe help at all. But just sitting there and being able to listen to validate what they're feeling and hearing is so important. So that's what I got.
So true. I say, I want to highlight David's comment there, which I think ties in what you're saying, right? Now, we need to replace pride and ego with kindness, caring, and empathy, and the sprinkling of gratitude and encouragement. So that's what being authentic really means to me. It's being human, right? It's approaching people, with right intentions, kindness. It goes a long way. And Mike, in terms of the conversations, I think many things is, it's a miracle. Well, I think. You and I could have been anywhere else, in this conversation, during this conversation, Mike, but we were in the right place, at the right time. And that's the power of faith. It's a great thing. Look, it says, Mr. Z says, we're going to carry this conversation for the next 4 weeks, or three more weeks. At least 2 more weeks, and then my gratitude experience. I don't know we're going to have 5 weeks, 5 days in April. So, we'll soon find out, right? But do join us next time. So we're going to talk about faith in action. And how do we put faith into action? It's a conversation, right? Yeah. So of course, we'd love to learn from all of you. So do join us and do come and share with us. Yeah. Let's see what we can learn from each other. Okay? Part of sharing is caring. Mrs. Z, anything else you want to say before we go?
Ready to go. Just to play the song we're supposed to play, then we'll kick on.
Awesome. So, bye. So enjoy your Easter, everyone. I say do enjoy it. So I say bye to everyone. Because,
All
we're
right,
in the show.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm standing where the ground goes quiet, where the sky has turned its face away, and I hear the voice I know as holy cry the words I was too afraid to say. My God, why have you forsaken me? Was the prayer I hid for all my years, but he spoke it first. From inside the darkness, took the distance and he brought it was always this, always the garden, always the way, always the road through the heart of the silence, always the love that refused to wait. No other way, no other story, no contingency, no second door. It was always this, it was always Good Friday. Before the world was, he knew what it was for. I have hidden in the shame of knowing what I am when no one else can see. But he stood inside that same forsaking, not to judge it, but to set it free. There was no sword he could not pass through, no separation deep enough to hold what was broken at the edge of Eden. Was the very thing he came to fold. It was always this, always the garden, always the way, always the road through the heart of the silence, always the love that refused to wait. No other way, no other story, no contingency, no second door. It was always this, it was always Good Friday. Before the world was, he knew what it was for. Not a rescue plan assembled in the crisis, not a mercy improvised along the way. This was written in the will before the morning, every wound accounted for before the clay. And I don't know how to hold this fully, that the cry was his before it was my own, that the distance I have lived inside for ages was the road he chose to walk me home. It was always this, always the cross, always the answer, always the arms that were opened in darkness, always the found wearing the face of the lost. No other way, no other story, no contingency, no second door. It was always this, it was always Good Friday. And I am loved like I have never been before. Before the breath, before the morning star, before the clay was formed, he knew this scar. Before the garden, before the garden, before the fractured union, Good Friday was already